You guys, I'm back. Going live. I need to grab the book. I will be right back. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can finish up this book, and then I will have my weekly episode of Signalis to follow. Please stay tuned. Okay. Principle 67 is the principle we find ourselves in. Connect with people who can expand your vision. Facebook was not originally created to be a company. It was built to accomplish a social mission, make the world more open and connected. That was Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. What's the most powerful aspect of the internet today? The ability to connect you to millions upon millions of people who can share your passion, support your vision, give you advice, and show up to help you achieve your dream. In fact, never before in the history of mankind has there been a resource like it, one that puts the achievement of your loftiest goals within reach. Of course, your job is to use this tool to achieve what you want, and expand your thinking to enroll and positively impact even more people in initiatives that will improve their lives. Alone, you may not have had that power in the past, but with the internet and current technology, pursuing social good as well as your own objectives should be an important goal of every success principled person. Connect like-minded people to support your goals through crowdsourcing. When we published the very first Chicken Soup for the Soul book, little did we know that it was one of the very first crowdsourced books in history. Dozens of people gave us content in the form of individual stories, poems, and cartoons for the book. It was so successful that the entire Chicken Soup series of books was compiled using this method. At one point, we had hundreds of professional writers and everyday people contributing stories for future books we wanted to produce. A model that not only worked, but it became even easier with the connecting power of the internet. What is crowdsourcing and how can it help you to pursue your goals? Merriam-Webster.com defines crowdsourcing as the process of obtaining needed services, ideas, or content by soliciting contributions from a large group of people, especially from an online community rather than from traditional employees or suppliers. Start wide, expand further, and never look back. Schwarzenegger, actor, philanthropist, and former governor of the state of California. If you're a would-be author but can't write well or can't get started, crowdsourcing can help you complete your manuscript. In fact, Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki crowdsourced his recent book, Conspiracy of the Rich, by posting the introduction online, then inviting his millions of existing readers to comment and provide their ideas about the remainder of the book's topics. Not only was it great market research about what people really needed in a financial book, but also as part of the commenting process, contributors had to register and agree that Robert could use any of their comments and ideas in the remaining chapters of the book. I have a germ of an inkling of a notion, but I will need $10 million to develop it into an abstraction of a vision of a concept. You're an entrepreneur with a great idea to provide a unique service in cities around the world, but can't deliver the service yourself or don't want to. There are incredible success stories of businesses that have been launched by recruiting others to deliver the services for you. Uber is a smartphone app that will reserve a taxi cab for you or find a ride share in major cities by texting taxi cab companies and private drivers for you. In other words, no single taxi cab company supplies all those drivers. The services are crowdsourced, and the app even helps you find the car's exact position on the street outside your location. Other businesses have been launched by crowdsourcing services from thousands of individual providers and simply building a website portal to link buyers of these services with the service providers themselves. One of my favorites is Fiverr.com, a website that represents freelancers all over the world who will do small jobs for just $5. And the online freelance marketplace, elance.com, connects graphic artists, writers, programmers, and other creative professionals around the world with businesses who need seasoned workers, but who want to outsource the work instead of hiring an employee. Elance charges the providers a small percentage of each transaction, and in 2013 booked $300 million worth of projects through its website without providing any of the creative services itself. Get help with your projects through virtual assistants or run your entire company virtually. One of the truly life-changing aspects of the digital age is that the internet gives talented people the ability to work from anywhere, as long as they have a computer and an internet connection. Not only has this created a massive shift in how, when, and where people work, it's given rise to an entire virtual workforce that includes remote workers, flex-time workers, outsourced vendors, and virtual assistants. If you own a consulting business in New York, for example, you can hire a marketing director in Texas, an after-hours answering service in Iowa, a personal assistant in Maryland, and a bookkeeper in Ohio, all in addition to your regular employees or even in place of them. The concept of a virtual business where every worker lives and works remotely has been around for several years, but the digital age has made these businesses more manageable and more productive than ever before. You can now hold video staff meetings with your entire team for free using Google Hangouts. You can instantly transfer files while talking or messaging at no cost on Skype. And for a few dollars a month, you can rent a virtual phone system that will route inbound calls to your company's individual departments, even though your workers live in several different cities. Hire a voiceover artist on Fiverr.com to record your phone greetings and routing prompts. And your virtual company will sound as professional as your biggest competitor across town. What's truly exciting about the virtual assistant model is that the internet also makes it possible for people in more developed economies to hire part-time workers in other countries like Romania, India, and the Philippines, paying them rates that are excellent hourly wages in those countries, but that are a fraction of what comparably trained professionals would earn in more developed countries. It's not uncommon for MBA-level accountants, veteran programmers, and smart research assistants to charge only between $7 and $18 per hour for first-rate work. Build a virtual mastermind group. Today, the internet allows you to build a mastermind group much more easily because now your reach is global. The ability to check references, get referrals, and find the right mastermind group members is unlimited. There's never been a better time to build a mastermind group. With technology like Skype, Google Hangouts, and GoToMeeting, you can hold a mastermind group meeting where everyone participates via video with group members from all over the world. Not only that, but technology makes it expensive to use compared to the long-distance phone calls fees of the past. Plus, you can share documents, slides, photos, and other information while you interact. You lead seminars or workshops, or you're thinking about it, check out Maestro Conference. You can run a live seminar online for groups up to 5,000 people or up to 2,000 screen share users. You can subdivide them into partners or small group discussions. You can listen in to their conversations just as you would if you were walking around a room in a regular class setting. People can ask questions by digitally raising their hands, and you can spontaneously call on whomever you want. Or you can pre-screen written questions and save time by not answering irrelevant ones, just like a live seminar. Plus, Maestro offers top-notch personalized training on how to use the system. We find ourselves in the afterword. Victory Lab for Success Principles. Empower yourself by empowering others. Many people die with their music still in them. Why is this so? Too often it's because they're always getting ready to live. Before they know it, time runs out. Oliver Wendell Holmes, former U.S. Supreme Court Justice. The key to success is to take what you've learned or relearned in this book and put it into action. You can't do everything at once, but you can begin. There are 67 principles in this book. If you're not careful, that could feel a bit overwhelming to you. So here's all you have to do. Go back to section 1 and start working through each principle one at a time in the order they are presented. Take 100% responsibility for your life and your success. Clarify your life purpose, decide what you want, set specific and measurable goals for all the parts of your personal vision, break them down into specific action steps that you can take, create affirmations for each one of your goals, and begin the practice of visualizing your completed goals every day. If you're smart, you'll also enroll someone to be your accountability partner, or you'll start a mastermind group to do these first steps with you. Then begin taking action on your most important goals every day, except your free days. Pay the price by doing whatever it takes. Ask for whatever you need with no expectation or fear of rejection. Ask for and respond to feedback. Commit to never-ending improvement and persist in the face of whatever obstacles may come up. Now you're up and running toward the completion of your major goals. Next, to build and maintain momentum, create a program for cleaning up your incompletes. Work on transforming your limiting beliefs. Pick a habit to work on developing for the next quarter. Commit to reading one of the books and suggested reading and additional resources for success, and then another and another. And purchase a motivational audio program to listen to in your car or when you're exercising. Then schedule a vacation with your spouse or some friends and enroll in a personal development seminar to be completed sometime in the next 6 months. Start saying no to the people and things that distract you from your major goals and find a mentor or hire a coach to advise you and keep you on track. Finally, work on developing your money consciousness. Make sure you set up a procedure for automatically investing 10% or more of every paycheck in an investment account, some portion of your time and money to your religious or favorite nonprofit organization. Analyze and cut back on your spending and begin figuring out how to make a fortune rather than a living by becoming more valuable to your employer or your clients. You can't do everything at once, but if you keep adding a little progress every day, over time you will have built a whole new set of habits and self-disciplines. Remember, anything valuable takes time. There are no overnight successes. It took me years to learn and implement all these principles in this book. I've mastered some and I'm still working on mastering others. So it will take you some time. It shouldn't have to take you as long as it took me. I had to discover all these principles on my own over a period of many years and from many different sources. I'm passing them all on to you in one large package. Take advantage of my having gone before and blazed a trail for you. Everything you need is here to take you to the next level. Granted, there are things you'll need to learn that are unique to your specific situation, profession, career, and goals that are not covered in this book. But the fundamental principles needed to succeed in any venture or line of work have been covered throughout the preceding chapters. Make the commitment to start now and get on with using them to create the life of your dreams. Processional effects. Scientist, inventor, and philosopher Buckminster Fuller talked about the processional effects that issue from just getting started. That by being in motion on your own goals, you can end up serving humanity. Fuller explained procession by pointing out that the honeybee's seemingly primary objective is to obtain nectar to make honey. While going after the nectar, the honeybee is unwillingly involved in a much bigger purpose. As it flies from flower to flower in search of more nectar, it picks up pollen on its wings and thus ends up cross-pollinating all the rooted botanicals in the world. It's an unintended byproduct of the bee's nectar-seeking activity. You can also think of yourself as a speedboat moving through the water. The sides of you and behind you is a wake of activity caused by the sheer force of your forward motion. Life is like that too. As long as you are actively in motion in the pursuit of your goals, you will create processional effects that will turn out to be far more important than you initially were capable of understanding or intending. You just begin, and the path of opportunities just keeps unfolding in front of you and the side of you. None of the wealthy and successful people I know, both my closest friends and the more than 90 people I interviewed for this book, could have possibly planned or predicted the exact sequence of events that unfolded over the courses of their lives. They all started with a dream and a plan, but once they started, things unfolded in unexpected ways. Look at my own example. Mark Victor Hansen and I never predicted the Chicken Soup for the Soul. The title of our first book would evolve into a brand name and would become a household phrase in North America and numerous other countries around the globe. Nor could we have ever predicted that we have a line of chicken soup for the pet lovers sold dog and cat foods, a line of greeting cards, a television show, syndicated column, or a syndicated radio show. All these things just evolved out of our initial commitment to write a book and be of service. When Dave Liniger decided to leave the biggest retail service agency in Denver and start his own agency, he had no idea that 40 years later his company Remax would become the largest real estate agency in the United States, a billion-dollar business with 90,000 agents in 90 countries around the world. When Donald Trump built his first building, he wasn't aware that he would eventually own casinos, golf courses, a resort, the Miss USA contest, and a #1 reality show on American television. He just knew he wanted to build magnificent buildings. The rest unfolded along the way. Carl Karcher started with a rolling hot dog stand in downtown Los Angeles. As he made a little money, he bought another one and then another one until he could buy a restaurant. The one restaurant evolved into Carl's Jr. When Paul Orfalea opened a single coffee shop to serve local college students, little did he know it would evolve into a chain of over 1,800 Kinko's stores and net him $160 million, and he later sold it to FedEx. All these people may have had a set of goals and detailed plan as best as they could conceive it at the time, but each new success opened up new unforeseen possibilities. If you just aim in the direction you want to go, start and keep moving forward. All kinds of unforeseen opportunities will grow out of that forward motion. An Olympic dream turns into a professional speaking career. When Ruben Gonzalez finally realized his dream of competing in the Winter Olympics for the third time, he returned home to Texas, where his 11-year-old neighbor reminded him of his promise to be his show and tell story at the local elementary school. After Ruben regaled Will's fifth grade class with the tales of his struggles to achieve his Olympic dream, Will's teacher asked Ruben if he would be willing to address an assembly of the whole school. So Ruben stayed for another hour and talked to all 200 kids. At the end of his talk, several teachers told him that they often hired speakers to come speak to the kids, and he was easily better than anyone they had previously hired. They told him that he had a natural gift as a speaker. Encouraged by this feedback, Ruben began calling up other schools in the Houston area, and soon he had so many bookings that he quit his job as a copier salesman. Everything went well until June, when, to Ruben's surprise, school let out for the summer and there was no more speaking engagements until the fall. Spurred on by the need to feed himself and his wife, Ruben began calling up local businesses. Little by little, he established a toehold in the corporate world around Dallas, and as word grew about his incredibly motivating talks, Ruben's career took off. Under 2 years later, Ruben made as much money in the first 2 months of the year as he made all year in his previous job as a copier salesman. Placing 35th in the world in luge, a sport most people have never even heard of, was a step toward a career as a world-class speaker, but it was not something he was planning when he was plummeting down the ice track at 90 miles an hour at the U.S. Olympic Training Center at Lake Placid, New York. It was one of those processional effects that Buckminster Fuller was talking about. Go get started. No amount of reading or memorizing will make you successful in life. It is the understanding and application of wise thoughts that counts. Bob Proctor, author of You Were Born Rich and a teacher in The Secret. I've done my best to give you the principles and tools you need to go and make all of your dreams come true. They've worked for me and for countless others, and they can work for you as well. This is where the information, motivation, and inspiration stop, and the perspiration provided by you begins. You and you alone are responsible for taking the actions to create the life of your dreams. Nobody else can do it for you. You have all the talent and resources you need to start right now and eventually create anything you want. I know you can do it. You know you can do it, so go out there and do it. A lot of fun as well as a lot of hard work, so remember to enjoy the journey. Everyone who got to where they are had to begin where they were. Richard Paul Evans, best-selling author of The Christmas Box. Empower yourself by empowering others. I also want to suggest that you give several copies of this book to your teenagers and college-age children, your employees, team members, and managers. You'll be amazed at how radically you can change a family, a team, or a business simply by having everyone use the same principles at the same time. The greatest gift you can give anyone is a gift of empowerment and love. What could be more loving than helping people you care about get free from their limiting beliefs and ignorance about success, empowering them to create the life they truly want from the depths of their soul? So many people in the world currently live in a state of resignation or despair. It's time to turn that around. We all have the power within us to create the life we want, the life we dream about, the life we were born to live. We all deserve to fulfill our full potential and manifest our true destiny. It is our birthright, but it must be claimed. It must be earned through hard work, and part of that work is first learning and then living by the time-tested and ageless principles that are guaranteed to bring about our desired results. Most of us did not learn these principles in school, and only few of us learned them at home. They've been passed down from person to person by mentors, trainers, successful entrepreneurs, teachers, coaches, and more recently in books, seminars, and audio programs. Now you have the core of those principles in your hands. First, use them to liberate your own life, and then the lives of those whom you care about most and whose activities most impact your life. What if all members of your family gave up complaining, took full responsibility for themselves and their lives, and started creating the lives of their dreams? What if all employees in your company practiced these principles? What if all members of your softball team approached life this way? What if all the high school students in the United States knew these principles and put them into practice in class, on the playing field, and in their social lives? What if all men and women in prison were to learn these valuable principles before they were released back into society? It would be a very different world. People would take 100% responsibility for their lives and the results they produce or don't produce. They would be clear about their visions and their goals. Nobody would fall victim to the criticism and abuse of others. People would keep their agreements. Everyone would persevere in the face of hardship and challenge. Men and women would band together in teams to support each other to become all they could be. People would ask for what they need and want and feel free to say no to requests of others when it's not right for them to respond with a yes. People would stop whining and complaining and get on with creating the life that they want. People would be doing the work they love and would therefore be of greater joyful service to others. People would tell the truth and listen to each other with compassion because they know that peace, joy, and prosperity flourish when they do. In short, the world would work. The greatest contribution you can make to the world is to grow in self-awareness, self-realization, and the power to manifest your own heartfelt dreams and desires. The next greatest thing you can do is to help others do the same. What a wonderful world it would be if we were all to do that. It is my intention that this book would contribute to creating that kind of world. If it does, I will have fulfilled my purpose of inspiring and empowering others to live their highest vision in the context of love and joy and harmony with the highest good of all concerned. If you would thoroughly know anything, teach it to others. Tyrone Edwards, American theologian. Just trying to get through it. Teach these principles to others. One of the most powerful ways to learn anything is to teach to others. It forces you to clarify your ideas, confront inconsistencies in your own thinking, and more closely walk your talk. But most important, it requires you to read, study, and speak information over and over again. The result of repetition reinforces your own learning. One of the greatest benefits to me of researching and teaching the principles of success is that I'm constantly reminding myself about the principles and how important it is to use them. As my staff members read the chapters of this book as I finish them, it helped all of us recommit to the ones we were not fully implementing. Whenever I conduct seminars around the world, I find I become more diligent in implementing the principles in my own life. Think about whom you might teach these principles to. Could you teach a seminar at your church, offer a class at a local high school or community college, teach a seminar at work, facilitate a 6-week study group that meets once a week over lunch, lead a discussion group with your family? If you would like to, go to successprinciples.com and click Join the Team tab to download a free facilitator's guide for leading a 6-session course that teaches the basic principles of this book. You don't have to be a master of these principles to lead a discussion group or a 6-week workshop. You just have to be willing to read the directions out loud. The study guide will tell you everything you need to say and do to lead a productive mini workshop and help people implement the principles at work, at school, and at home. We're also actively involved in training thousands of people to teach the success principles in highly interactive and experiential workshops and trainings. In addition to our live 2 and 3 week trainings spread out over the course of a year, held in the United States, we also have complete Success Principles Train the Trainer home study course available. Both programs lead to becoming a certified Canfield Success Principles trainer. The ultimate goal is to have 1 million people teaching these principles, strategies, methods, and techniques in corporations, small businesses, schools, universities, governments, and nonprofit organizations, churches, and public seminars by 2030. We are already well on our way to accomplishing this goal. We would like to have you join us. Imagine a family, group, club, religious group, office, sales team, company where people were all working together to support each other and actively living these principles. Results would be miraculous. If you could be the person who makes that happen, if not you, then who? Not now, then when? When you lift up others, they will lift you up. Here's another major benefit. The more you help other people succeed in life, the more they want to help you succeed. You might wonder why all the people who teach success strategies are so successful. Because they've helped so many people get what they want. People naturally support those who have supported them. The same will be true for you. One of my spiritual teachers once taught me to be a student to those above me, teacher to those below me, and a fellow traveler and helpmate to those on the same level. That's good advice for all of us. Help us start a movement. Think you're too small to have an impact? Try going to bed with a mosquito in the room. That's Anita Roddick, founder of The Body Shop with 3,500 stores in 61 countries serving over 80 million customers, and a prominent human rights activist and environmentalist. I envision a world where all people are inspired to believe in themselves and their abilities and are empowered to reach their full potential and realize their dreams. I want these principles taught in every school and university and practiced in every small business and large corporation. I've trained other trainers and speakers, developed curricula for schools, created video-based training programs for welfare programs and corporations, written books, created audio and video programs, conducted seminars and online courses, and developed a coaching and tele-coaching program for the general public. I've created a syndicated column, helped produce a television series, and appeared on countless radio and television programs sharing these ideas with others. I'd love to have you join me in spreading the word. If you'd like to be part of the Success Principles team, visit thesuccessprinciples.com. Register by clicking the Join Team tab, and we'll let you know how you can join us in reaching and teaching others. Transform yourself for success. Attend Breakthrough to Success, Jack Canfield premier training event. Your ideal life is so much closer than you think. Through this powerful live training program, thousands of people around the world have achieved their loftiest dreams, from becoming best-selling authors to launching new businesses, doubling their incomes, tripling their time off, funding new charities, becoming a top salesperson, and so much more. With 5 days, you'll get crystal clear about what you want, get help from overcoming the obstacles that have been holding you back, write a step-by-step plan to take your life to the next level, then learn how to kick up that plan into high gear action. Visit breakthroughtosuccess.com for more information. Get support as you apply these principles. Discover Jack Canfield's personal coaching. It doesn't matter if your goals are to be the top salesperson in your company, become a leading architect, score straight A's in school, buy your dream home, or double your income. The principles and strategies are the same, but they must be applied. Jack has trained and mentored a team of coaches in the success principles to provide you with personal support. Objectivity and constructive feedback you need to achieve success. With the support of your coach, you can learn to apply the powerful principles from this book. Visit jackcanfield.com/coaching for a free introduction to coaching. Join the next generation of human potential trainers as the Success Principles qualified instructor. Jack Canfield's Train the Trainer program is a professional development training where Jack personally trains you to become certified to teach the Success Principles using the Jack Canfield methodology of experiential learning and holistic model of growth and development. Together with a group of no more than 100 students, you'll be empowered to bring his success principles to the world. The principles outlined. Jack will help you become a dynamic success trainer and equipped with the skill set, context, exercises, workshop design, training tools, and mindset necessary to get results. 10 live trainings are studied in the convenience of your home or office. Visit CanfieldTrainTheTrainer.com. Jack Canfield private retreats. If you've ever wanted to get Jack's personal help in creating the meaningful, fulfilling, and exciting life you deserve, these small group retreats held in exclusive locations like Maui, Tuscany, Dubai, and at Jack's stunning home in Santa Barbara offer a tranquil, transformational environment while giving you the personalized support you need to wake in the next phase of your life. If selected to participate, you'll join a high-caliber group of self-aware achievers who have invested years in their personal and professional growth, rising to the top of their professions. If you ever wanted Jack to focus on your biggest dreams and to meet other leaders who share your commitment to unlimited success, this is your chance. By application only, limited to 25 participants. Visit jackcanfieldretreat.com. Okay, that's a mouthful as like fireworks are going off. That was it for Success Principles, folks. I'll be back with more Signalis, so stay tuned. That will be on Stormer Show, my YouTube. Thank you so much for all the support this show should receive. So every like, comment, share, subscribe, donations to the Stormer Show. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and if so, please remember to pay it forward and support the show. Please follow on TikTok. Please subscribe on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Sleep tight. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more Signalis, so please stay tuned.